What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us again today. We're gonna be reacting to the game versus Sevilla that was played over the weekend when our team won 1-0 thanks to PEDRI, magic from PEDRI. So let's jump right into it just to get a little bit of uh, um, talk about the lineup and talk about how the game went and everything. So, but first of all, let me ask you this: how you feeling today with Ramadan?
It's all good. It's all good. After yesterday's game, I feel rejuvenated. I'm absolutely fine. How about you, brother?
I'm doing good. I spent the weekend filming, so I was not even home until Saturday. I didn't get home until 7:30, which is when I'm supposed to break fast. And then yesterday, I didn't get until an hour late, so I broke fast and on the road home. But yeah, like you said, after I watched the game, I got home. I watched the game. I felt pretty good. Our boys didn't disappoint. It was a really good
Yeah,
game. Um,
not too bad, right?
yeah, you're still fasting now, right? You haven't broken fast yet.
No, not yet. In an hour
All right, good.
from now.
Okay, yeah, okay. So so yeah, let's jump into the game. So let's start with the lineup. Can you just tell us who played the starting lineup so people can hear
Yeah,
it?
nothing too surprising. I think the greatest surprise is that we had Araujo and Dani Alves. So let's just start. In goal, we had Ter Stegen. Then we had on the left side Jordi Alba, our center backs, Piqué and Araujo. Right back was Dani Alves. Then in the midfield we had Busquets, we had Frankie de Jong, and of course Pedri. Then Ferran Torres, Aubameyang, and Dembele up front. Nothing too surprising over there.
Yeah, yeah. I expected that. But I expected actually Araujo not to play, and I expect Eric to play in PK, but Araujo was immense, and our when he was a monster throughout the whole game. But let's do that. Let's give our overall impression of the game. What do you think?
Well, I was fairly normally when I watched Barcelona play against the biggest teams in La Liga, I was rather nervous, and at every second I thought, okay, right now we are losing the grip of the game. We don't have the control anymore, and you could see that as well in this match, but. It was never like frightening, you know. They somehow gained the control back always, and I was absolutely I'm stunned by the continuity that these young players have. I mean, it's not something that comes along like every time. This is something that I've never experienced in my whole life because I've never seen Barcelona being that bad before, but I've never seen a team, any football team, um, being having a comeback like they have. I mean, it's not just the results. Of course, the results are very important, but it's the way they play, the way they handle difficult situations and come back. And even those clean sheets that we had recently are absolutely um, a gift, and we are blessed to watch this team grow and grow.
It's fascinating because in the beginning of the season, like we thought we still have 2 or 3 years, right? Like we have a lot of time before we can actually compete. If you ask any Barca fan in the beginning of the season and how we played, you say we have we have a few years before we can actually compete in the Champions League or even to win the league. Um, but Javi just came in and just basically changed the whole dynamic of how we play. It's just pretty it's pretty fascinating to watch from even from a neutral perspective. I'm sure people will, if they've been following or at least reading about what Xavi's doing, is just something hasn't been done. Even when Pep came in, I mean, he had a good squad already in there. Granted, he brought Alves and Yaya Toure and all those people, um, but he had Messi, he had Xavi, he had Iniesta. You know what I mean? He had Puyol, he had uh, uh, Eto. He had bunch of players that are world class already in the team, right? So and he came in the summer, so you had a preseason, and it's a different situation, but still, like thinking about Xavi coming in the midseason with a bunch of teenagers and washed out players and some players that are inconsistent. You think, oh, well, here we go. We're gonna try to at least get to the top four if we can by the end of the season. But if we don't, like it's not Javi's fault that he came in with to take over a mess. But just within 3 4 months, man, it just completely changed the picture. And all of the Barca fans now thinking if Xavi came through in the summer, we probably would be close to Madrid now, or even top of the league. So it's just a really interesting timeline for Barca fans right now. And to the point of the game, I thought they played with so much heart and so much uh, um fight in them. Like they wanted to win. Like you can tell everything they did, they wanted to win. And what symbolized it for me is the last 10 minutes where Sevilla was trying to get back into the game, right? They tried to attack, they tried to put people more forward more to try to control the game, and everyone was running. Everyone was playing with intensity. It's amazing. Like
Mm.
seeing Dembele. If I don't know if you noticed, if
Yeah,
you saw that when he tackled
yeah. So the
okay,
defensive work.
yeah, he
Yeah,
tackled the trigger, and he's like got up. He's like he starts screaming and like he's so
um,
excited that he was able to help that. It's just something that we haven't seen before, and it's something that us watching it, just fucking we're there with them, like yes, let's go, let's go. You know what I mean? It just gives it a whole different dynamic watching it now.
uh, there I amped up, but I think the energy that Xavi brings in translate onto the field.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not. The biggest travesty with Ronald Koeman was that I'm not able to say whether he's done a good job with training and with the tactical aspect of things. Maybe the players weren't listening to him and his vision, but the way he reacted on the side on the sideline was absolutely shambolic and translated into translated onto the field. And right now we have quite the opposite. We have the players being amped up by every whether it's a offensive move, they high five each other when whether it's like you said Dembele making a great tackle and then totally being amped up. It's a joy to watch. Of course, we are talking about Sevilla. They have a fantastic defensive line. They can score. They can be difficult to play against, whether at home or um, when away. It's always difficult to play against Sevilla, but we did it. We did the job. We did what we had to do, and of course that magical moment with Pedri. And it's not only that they even after that, if you noticed, they were playing for that second goal, and Ferran Torres had that
eternity. Yeah.
basically, yeah. But but at the end of the day, the thing that excites me most is that we can build upon this, even if this season, even if we don't get anything out of it, I mean, like really anything, not even the EuroLeague or anything. It's good to see that this team fought back and came back with a vengeance. This is something that was necessary for us as fans, because we even in Barcelona, a lot of people were devastated after the severe losses in the Champions League and year after year, and after Messi was let go and went to PSG. There was this feeling that it will take a lot of years to rebuild this. But at the same time, right now, what I'm saying is we need to keep this squad alive, and I mean each and every one. You see, did you see how Araujo played? He was basically he saved Dani Alves' ass multiple times. Not only that, the crowd cheered the chant that they cheered was Uruguayo, Uruguayo, the same thing that they did for Suarez, and he deserved that. He deserved for that performance alone. He deserved he deserved to be cheered on. It's an absolutely we need to keep this guy. I mean, he's probably right now he's probably one of the top central defenders, and not only central because he's very versatile. He's
Yeah.
versatile up front, and when we play him on the right side as well.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think, like you said, build upon this one. We know that some players are only have a year or maybe two to, and then they'll be retiring, like Alba, like PK, like Busquets. So we'll need to have the right people to take over them for them. I would definitely, Araujo definitely needs to be renewed. And I think there was an interview with him afterwards, and he said that he 100% wants to stay. They're gonna meet with the club in the next week or two, and they'll try to come up with a solution because he wants to stay. So he's not wanting to leave. So it's just a matter of the club finding a solution, which I think they will. Just 'cause if there is a will from the player, especially voicing it like that, he definitely wants to stay. So they're gonna find a solution of some kind. So that and Dembele, Dembele too said the I don't know if Laporta, I can remember Lautaro Alemani said that they're working on something. They might go back to the table and try to figure things out. So keeping him and Dembele would be amazing going next year, bringing a couple more people to help with depth, and I think we should be able to steamroll any team next year.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It is basically elemental that we keep on the players that are performing right now, because we have those players that perform, and what a comeback from Dembele. I mean, this period, these 3 months, this last 3 months are hands down. Even though we are not competing um, uh, against Real Madrid for the title, because they are right now too far away. But even though it's bar none his best period, um, his most consistent period, and his best period in the club. And this it says so much about Xavi being able to because first we speculated that it's probably because he tries to get himself on the window shop, like look look what I can do. You need to get me and pay me good money, but right now he's playing his heart out, and it's because he enjoys it. He enjoys being on the field,
Yeah,
and the standing ovations that he got were absolutely justified.
yeah,
And I'm glad that the Camp Nou recognizes these performances and what he has done for the club at this moment, because we needed those points, because very difficult games we had back to back, like
especially
playing
last
against
month.
Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Galatasaray away, and then Real Madrid away, and then Sevilla at home. There's very difficult games. You can lose all of them, and it wouldn't be a shame. But we've won them, and in a fantastic manner, and it's absolutely amazing. I mean, we are all out for praise because this needs to be praised.
yeah. No, yeah. It's just fascinating, especially that we we were having a hard time creating chances in the beginning of the season. We didn't know how to create chances a lot of the times. Um and watching last few games and yesterday's game, we created a bunch of chances against fucking Sevilla, like against somebody who's really good defensively. We could have scored 3 4 goals in the first half. So it's those moments that you realize, oh, we are really good. It's not just like, you know what I mean. It's not like we had 2 good games and we're praising the team because we're fans or whatever. But it's just we are playing a really good football. So it's not it's very exciting to watch whether you like the club or not, which is exactly how it was when Pep Guardiola was there, when Lucho was there. So it's really awesome to be part of it right now. Um, so let's let's transition to from that to the player that made a difference for us again and again and again and again for these last few games.
Yeah.
What do you got to say about that guy?
I'm honestly out for words. This is feels just like, I mean, more so for him than for us. It must feel like a dream come true
Yeah.
because having having this guy in the team, someone who's potentially is going to become one of the best players of all time. He's definitely got the potential to be that, and that he's playing like you've seen it all. Like he's got that experience, that coolness, that 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 calmness to just know I'm not only going to put this one in, I'm going to make it look so easy. I'm going to make it look so world class, and there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, we feel sorry for our brother Bono,
Yeah.
Yassine Bono, but
He played a good
he
game.
played it. Yeah, he played a good game, but that one was out of reach
Yeah.
for anybody, and it's absolutely amazing to see. Not, but we cannot praise Pedri only for the goal because what he's doing in those games. I mean, of course he has some he had some mistakes, but it's normal. It's like
Mhm.
not 90 minutes. You will have some uh, missed passes and stuff like that, but it's not something that is out of the ordinary. But the stuff that he does on the pitch, the awareness, the passes, the technique, the physicality, even though he's like a smaller type of a player, he it's very difficult to get him off the ball. And this is there are no superlatives that we can use for Pedri. He's absolutely amazing, probably our best acquisition in years.
It has to be, right? Well, yeah, I would say maybe the best every young person, young player we bought that meant to be for Barca B, and then all of a sudden we said, "Fuck it, let's put him in in the first team," and he fucking exploded. I don't think we ever had anybody like that in my memory in recent time. I would say. So I don't know about back in the day, but like in the last 15 years, I would say we didn't have anybody that surprised us this much. That was brought in, not from our academy. You know what I mean? So it's just a very special treat to be watching somebody who just can move so smoothly and he's so deceptive with his ball. Like you think he's gonna do something, and then he does something different. Like you can tell that by the reaction of the players, because he's has the ball and just standing there. All of a sudden, he's gone, and
Mm.
it's just it reminds me. It's not necessarily like Messi like as far as the dribbles or whatever, but like the actual deception that he has, and the technique that he uses to actually deceive the players. It reminds me a little bit of Messi as far as how smart he is with the ball. You know what I mean? He knows if the pass is gone, I'm not gonna try to attempt it.
Uh,
And I saw him a few times do that. Like when he tries to pass to Ferran, let's say for example, and somebody blocks the shot, instead of passing it anyway, he says, "Nope, I'm not gonna lose the ball this way, even though there is a chance it gets there. But if that guy's gonna catch it, it's gonna be a counter attack." That's sort of thinking. And I saw him a few times where he brought the ball back and then apologized to Ferran that it wasn't the right pass at that point, even though you made the run. So stuff like that is what makes stuff that you learn from experience. Like you have to go through a lot of missed passes like that before you learn it. He already has it at 19. It's just insane to think about. And if and the potential he could be one of the greatest ever. And it's just exciting that we have a player like him in our team right after Messi left. You know?
uh, yeah, and that's a coincidence because who knows to what he will evolve? Because right now we are playing him a certain way, and maybe he can evolve even to being very clinical in front of goal. Who
Yeah.
knows? This is something that takes time, and I think his best years are ahead of him. And of course, with 19, but the way he reads the play, the way his attitude on the pitch. If you noticed, he lost a ball, and he just like a pit bull, he
Tackled him.
went
Yeah.
and yeah, and tackled him and got the ball back. This is what we want. Even if and there were some smart fouls in that game from both sides, not only from Barcelona but as well to Sevilla. And kudos to Sevilla, they played a really good game, especially defensively. Um, we are blessed with this guy because he makes the difference right now, especially in midfield. Well, I think everybody has a role to play, and of course with Busquets, we have someone who's more defensively oriented, but can distribute the ball very good up front. Then we have Frenkie de Jong, who always tries to make that run down the box, which creates more danger because especially like a team like Sevilla that had like man covering people. When somebody like Frankie De Jong comes in, he creates some commotion and confusion over there. It's good to see that we are so versatile and have so many good midfielders at our disposal. And then you can always bring in physicality with Nico. You can bring in a similar type like Pedri, who's good with the ball, like Gavi, and
Hmm.
of course someone who's offensively is strong like Frenkie De Jong. And it's a perfect mixture. And if we get like someone like Kissier, who's rumored to come in, who's good with the ball and physically stronger than basically everyone in the team in the midfield, then we have a good depth in that area. I think the midfield is the least of our problems. It always was a strong suit of Barcelona.
Yep. No, I 100% agree. And that's why it's exciting for us the next few years to see what we can do, and hopefully Xavi can be with us for a while to help mentor these kids and bring the best out of them. And then you can see that he's bringing the best out of Dembele, which we had him for almost 5 years now, and he's still he had issues trying to stay consistent. Like you see his brilliance, but it's still you it still wasn't clicking. You can tell. It'd be like would be like he's good, but he's not. He play well this game, and the next game he's just be non-existent. He just be losing the ball all the time. So
Mm.
and yesterday his if you watch the game from yesterday and the game from like last year, like it's completely different player. Like he's more confident on the ball. He passes more. Last year or last 4 years, he dribbles more than passes. If you notice, he tries to take on everybody, and shoots. If you notice,
Mm.
the last few games, he does not. Shooting is his last option. He always tries to give the ball to somebody to shoot. He always tries to be the playmaker for everybody. That's something that we've been missing in that side, because his crosses were not great, and his finishing wasn't great either. Sometimes he scored a banger, but most of the time he just shoots it way high or right on the midfielder or the defender, and it bounces back. But
Yeah.
last few games, you can tell he's improving immensely when it comes to actually for decision making, whether to pass or dribble or to shoot. And it's amazing to see just within 3-4 months how he turned him around.
Yeah, I think it's mostly because of Xavi has a certain role assigned to every player, and the one from Dembele differs from Ferran Torres in that he's got that pace more so than Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres is quick, but not as quick as Dembele, and Dembele can penetrate that right side in a fashion that makes it really easy for him to cross and bring that ball into that dangerous area. And this is something that was probably assigned to him by Xavi, and he
Right,
knew to how to play out his strengths. It's not just wait for the ball to come in like a long ball from our side. Of course, we got that as well right now, but it's more so that we can play the ball to the right side and have him dribble and sprint the right side down, and it seems so easy for him. I mean, Rikic was again without a chance when he had that pace at the right side.
yeah,
And this is something that is needed. Someone who understands the strengths and the weaknesses of each player, assigns specific tasks for 90 minutes, or the whole 90 minutes. And this is something that was basically missing
yeah,
with the last few coaches.
yeah. I agree. And speaking of the coach, they interviewed him after the game, and I have the footage here. We can react to it real quick just to see what he said. Let me pull it up.
With Coach Xavi after this sixth win in La Liga in a row. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy, really satisfied. Today it was a final for us against a really good team, really good coach, amazing performance from our part. So I'm really happy. Us, we played really well. I think it's deserved. So I'm really happy today.
It was very difficult to generate clear chances, but did your team had? Patience to try to cook the game?
I think we create many chances, but at the end, it was the problem. It was the last pass, the last decision, the last making decision. So they defend really well the box with the two center backs plus Gudel, Joan Jordan. It's really difficult to attack Sevilla. They concede just 19 goals today with the PEDRI goal 20. So it's one of the best teams in the competition. So it's an amazing win for us.
That Pedri goal, he stops the time another time, like in Galatasaray in Turkey. What does this player have? It's like a kind of magic.
Yes, it's an unbelievable player. He controlled the space and time really well. The timing. He committed really well to defenders. So amazing performance. Not only the goal, he made the difference for the team, but the game that he play and all the team how we work in defense, how we press high, how we press on loose. Amazing game from our part.
Ousmane Dembele was cheered for all the fan base at the end of the game. He played an amazing 90 minutes. Mateo Alemán just said that he might be able to continue. What do you think about his performance and how important is Dembele for you?
It's really important. You can see in the lineup playing almost all the game. So let's see how is the situation. Now it depends of him and depends on the club. Everybody knows my opinion about Usman. It's very important for us. It's a player he can make the difference, and he's doing the difference now for the team.
Last question, Xavi. 6 wins in a row in La Liga. You are reaching second spot. Is it possible still win La Liga?
Well, we'll continue working hard. Of course,
Mhm.
it's difficult, but we need to keep going. And now thinking in the next game, and this is the way. We are in my opinion, we are in the best moment in the season right now.
There you go. There you have it.
Not only his opinion.
Huh?
Yeah, of course. I said not only in his opinion, in everybody's opinion, we are in the best spot right now
Yeah,
this
yeah.
season. So, yeah, of course. He was spot on with basically with everything that he said, and the answers were sufficient. I think we can all agree that they played a good game, and we let's not forget this isn't a team that is going to concede like 5 or 6 or 7. It's not that team. Sevilla is very confident. They are very good defensively, like we've said,
Yeah.
and sometimes you just take those 3 points, and but it's not like we've had a bad game and they were controlling the rhythm or the game. We controlled the rhythm,
Yep.
we controlled the game, and we had fantastic moments. Like Xavi said, sometimes the last decision making, the last pass wasn't there, but this is football. This is how it goes, and we cannot dismiss the fact that they have some great defenders. Like Kunde is be one of my dream defenders in Barcelona. He's absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
amazing defender. But sometimes, like if you have someone like Pedri doing that magic, there is nothing you can do.
Yeah, I mean the goal is nothing they could have done. He just danced around two players. And
Yeah,
it reminded me so much of the goal he scored against Galatasaray, except that one was closer, but which is you could say it was easier, not easier to score, but it's you know what I mean. It's if
yeah,
when he does that, is only the goal right there in front of you, so it's easier to score. But from that distance yesterday, it's just it's just
yeah,
it's just fascinating for a 19-year-old to do that to a professional player that's been playing for years. You know?
yeah. And the responsibility he takes, and to take that shot, it's not as easy as it seems. He makes it look easy, but even though he danced around two players, there's a lot of work you need to do. You need to hit the ball the right way. I think it went through the legs of another player and then right into the left corner of the goal, so it was unreachable for Bunu. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely amazing, and this is the stuff that was needed for at least 2 years. Someone who has a vision, someone who has an idea how he wants to play with this team that he has at his service. Um, so let's quickly do the ratings for the players.
Okay.
Um, let's start with Ter Stegen.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
I'm gonna give him I give him 7.5 because we hardly saw him pretty much during the game. And one time that I remember, I mean, we saw him a couple times, but the one time he almost cost us a goal. He granted he ended up recovering really well and making a really great save. But there was no threat when he tried to punch the ball. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. He
Yeah,
tried to
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
tried to punch the ball, and there was nobody there. It was just PK and I think Araujo, not Araujo, PK was somebody and somebody else there, maybe De Jong. And he tried to punch it and ended up falling in one of Sevilla's players, and he ended up recovering and catching it when it was going to goal. But with that, I would give him 8, but I'll take 0.5 because of the unnecessary um, uh,
Mm,
attempt he did.
Gotcha. Yeah. Totally agree with that scoring. 7.5 seems fair. Um, he, I think he made a good game because the ball distribution was good
Mhm.
from him this time around. He had a couple of saves, not too many, but granted that they didn't have that many chances on goal, and that um, slight mistake. I mean, his decision making when coming outside is basically his problem. He's not as good when it comes to set pieces and corners. That's when he mostly does his mistakes. But on the line, he's
He's very good.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, 7.5 seems like fair score. Jordi Alba, I'll go first. I'll give him a 8. I think he barely made any mistakes. He had not as good as the Real Madrid game, but pretty solid. I think a solid game, and when there are basically no mistakes, and he made his job really good. I think 8.5, 8.0 is
Yeah,
fair.
I agree with that. I was literally when you said Jordi Alba, that's what I was thinking is 8. And I noticed something that with Jordi, he doesn't go up front as much as with Koeman and the other coaches. I wonder if that's on purpose and maybe because of his age, maybe because of like he's been doing it so much that other teams figured it out and they target his side more. But I've noticed that maybe it's a tactical thing, but I've noticed that he's not it doesn't go forward as much as he used to. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think to element of surprise is really good when it comes to somebody who's fast like that. So
Mm.
with that said, he had a good game, not an amazing game. So I think 8 is fair.
Let's continue. Piqué.
I'm gonna give him a 9. Piqué was a fucking beast. He he
Oh,
he was really good in my opinion. He was uh, um tackling everybody, playing with heart, and you can tell he wanted to win. A few times when the ball was in the corner there, him and other player, he was not. He didn't shy away from tackle. Granted, the first 10 minutes he had made a couple mistakes. He went forward where I thought should have just stayed back when he would try to get the ball back. But for the rest of the game, him and Araujo were just amazing at organizing defense. So I think, in my opinion, a 9 is great for him.
okay. We gotta disagree on that. I will give him a 7.
Oh,
And I yeah,
ooh,
and I'm only going to give him a 7. It would probably be even lower than that, but I give him
no.
7 because yeah, I give him a 7 because of his determination in the last 30 minutes. It
Well, that's
was
almost half of the game.
yeah. No, the last 30 minutes is not the half of a game.
Oh, almost. So, well, he did it wrong. Tell me what he did wrong.
Yeah, and then yeah. Like you said, the first, I think the entire first half was a liability. He wasn't tactically aware of what he was supposed to do. I mean, just take for instance the one incident where he went up and basically body checked Busquets.
Yeah, that's the
Absolutely,
one. That's the one I was talking
yeah.
about. Yeah.
But that's absolutely, and not only that one. When they were on the counter, he went up, and if it wasn't for Araujo saving his and Dani Alves' ass, I'm not too sure we wouldn't have conceded. And thank God that Ronald Araujo was on the pitch and not Garcia. Although Garcia had, to be fair, he had a great match against Real Madrid, so he would probably have deserved a spot. But to be honest, Piqué was a liability the first 45 minutes, in my
I don't
opinion.
think 45. I think maybe 15 minutes in, because there were a few tackles he did in the first half that were really immense. I mean, if you go back and watch the highlights or just watch the first half, you'll see what I mean. But the first 15 minutes, I agree, he was shaky, and I said that when I rated him. Um, but that does not overshadow how good he was for the rest of the game. He was very, very solid, especially the last half an hour when Sevilla uh, uh, decided to attack. He was a leader in the back. So I think 9 is great in my opinion. I still stand by it. As this 9 is overshadows the couple mistakes that he did. I think, but yeah.
Yeah, but there were too many for me personally to even get nowhere near a 9. So if I take everything into perspective, and I just remembered the clear handball where he should have had a yellow. It was a handball, and then the yellow card that he got when they were on the counter and he grabbed them. Those mistakes, because Piquet knows about his pace, so he knows when he can go into a duel and when he's not able to outrun somebody. So whatever he has as a deficit in his pace, he's got in cleverness. So
Yep.
it's his way, the stance to the players and to the ball, and to know when exactly to attack and
Yeah.
when not. And when he has great games, he does that. And for me personally, he didn't have a great game.
Okay.
And opinions,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just perspective when you're watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So let's go to the king, Araujo.
Araujo, I'd say 9.5 for me. He was
Uh,
immense throughout the whole thing.
what does he got to do to get that 10, brother?
He has to
There is
score.
no.
He should have scored
No,
that
no,
header.
no. That's not his. That's not his.
No, I know. But I give him 9.5 because like if it was just him, the only one that had a good game in defense, then yes, I would give him a 10. But I think everybody worked together defensively really well. Everybody had relied on each other's weaknesses and strength throughout the whole game. And his strength is strength and pace. He's fast and very strong. And when PK goes up, in which he does when he distributes and the ball and all that stuff, then Araujo's main task is basically covering for him and Alves as they both go up. And you see it multiple times throughout the game. So he was doing his job when he was doing all those. It's not just he's doing it out of the PK is out of place. I need to go and cover for him. It was his job to do that. It was his task to do that. And he did it well. That's why 9.5 is not 7 or 6. So I think he did a great game, and he he deserves 9.5 in my opinion.
Okay, that's a fair score, but for me, it's a 10 out of 10 performance. I don't need to further elaborate. Just watch
Yeah,
the
he's good.
game,
I understand why
and
it's
you
like okay.
and you see it. So let's go on with Dani Alves. For me, that was a 5.0,
Wow,
5.5.
five.
Let me get, yeah.
Wow.
He wasn't. He made a lot of mistakes that could have cost us a lot of misplaced passes. Not his best game.
Okay, I agree that it wasn't his best game, but 5 is really too low. I give him a 7. He he wasn't the best in the field. Obviously, he wasn't great, but he had a good game. He made some mistakes where he got dispossessed. It happens all the time. But he was quick to try to recover. He didn't just sit there. He actually tried to get the ball back. He did a couple times, and other times Araujo had to help him out. But I think he tried his best. He wasn't lazy or anything as far as trying to cover ground. He ran a lot. He did what he's supposed to do. Granted, not as great as he should have, but I think 7 is, in my opinion, is fair. But definitely could have been better.
Okay. Let's go on. Sergio Busquets.
5. No, I'm just kidding. I give him Busquets. We didn't see a lot of them. Again, the quote: "If we don't see, if you don't see football in the game, then she's doing a good job." But I think I'll give him an 8 just because I feel like we distributed the ball really well going forward. And he was he was immense in doing that. Other than that, I don't remember any part that stood out with him being part of. But again, his job is not to do that. His job is to actually maintain our possession and be able to know which pass to distribute to. So I think 8 is fair.
I agree. 8, solid 8. Had a solid game. Nothing too amazing, nothing too bad. Barely mistakes, but nothing too amazing. 8.5, 8.0. Let's continue with Frankie de Jong. I go first. 8.0 as well. Very solid. He had he did what he had to do, and pretty solid performance. Then he got substituted. I think he made a good game. Also, nothing too special, nothing too bad.
No, I agree. He solid game. It was like everything you said. I don't need to elaborate, but yeah, I agree with you.
And then we come to the man of the hour,
We don't even have to say it. We don't
Pedri.
even have to say it.
Go first, brother. Speak on it.
I would say 10 out of 10, man. That man is just something special. And we are so proud that we have him on the team. He again this is like what the 4th time 10 out of 10 performance, I feel like. But I think his yeah, he did everything. Had some really awesome passes and key passes, and he tried to there were a few of them that could have resulted into a goal that didn't, but overall I think he ruled the midfield and was able to get us the win with the goal. So definitely I think 10 out of 10 for me.
Ja, I think there is no explanation needed. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, yeah. Who we have left?
Oh, watch that goal. Go watch that goal. If you didn't see it, you've
Yeah.
missed something. Go watch that goal, and you know why. There's and not even. You need to watch the whole match to understand the 10 out of 10 performance.
Yeah.
Let's continue with Ferran Torres.
What you got?
I'm going with solid 8. Also, nothing too amazing, nothing too spectacular.
Okay.
Solid 8.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He had some chances he could have scored, but he was immense as far as on the left side there, trying to dribble and pass and keep it active and always a threat when he has the ball. So I think 8 is fair.
Yeah, let's continue with Aubameyang. For me, that performance was 7.5. He had some great passes. He came into the midfield and had some stuff. Sometimes he brought the ball into the 16-yard box, but to me, nothing too special. 7.5.
Yeah, I feel like he was really well marked. He didn't have a lot of chances. He did like two or three chances in the first half that he tried to get it on behind the net there, but it just didn't work out. So I agree. 7.5 I think is fair. Um, he tried his best, but his best wasn't enough. I think to grant him a bigger score.
Exactly. Let's continue with Belly.
Dembele. I feel like it's let's see. I'll give him an 8.5 because he was more active than the left side. The right side I think was more active. He was more threatening. He had really key passes. He was the assist for the goal. So and he was really immense at tracking back and defending when we don't have the ball. So I think 8.5 is fair.
Okay, for me, it's a 9 performance. That performance was very, very good. I think he had a lot of moments, even defensively, where he shined and where we could see his strengths all over the pitch. To me, that is a 9 performance. Yeah. So we have all. Let's do something new
Mm-hmm.
for the end. Let's rate Javi.
Oh man, Xavi. I'll give him. I'll give him. I'll give him a 9. I think he chose the right lineup.
Line up.
Yeah, and he made the right key substitutions when we needed it. Um, Bringing Gavi in brought in a different dynamic to the midfield. Somebody who can just charge and fuck somebody up.
Yep.
And you saw he did it a few times there. Just to break down their attempts and their rhythm. Somebody who can just go
Mhm.
in and wreak havoc. Um, so yeah, so I think 9 is great for it. What do you think?
Yep. I agree. A 9 is absolutely. And basically, the last few matches where we didn't have a score for him, it was either 9 or a 10
Yep.
because there were barely some mistakes on his part. Maybe the Galatasaray game at home. But other than that, I don't see a lot of mistakes that he or something that he could have done differently. So, absolutely, yeah, it's fun to watch Barca again,
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Let's do one more thing before we end it. Let's just briefly talk about our next game. First of all, are you going to the game? You talked about
No, I'm not.
you're not.
I'm not. No, I'm not. It's too far away. It's like a 4-hour drive
Oh yeah, that's too
or
much.
3 hours with the train. So it's not feasible for me, and I've got to go to work
Yeah, it's in the
the
middle of the
next day.
week.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what do you think the lineup
Uh,
is gonna be though?
I think, of course, Dani Alves is not going to play, so
Yeah.
I think he's going to try Araujo. If this is not available, it's going to be Araujo again on the right side. It's not too bad. I think we can play like that, and the rest will stay like it is.
I think Adama's gonna play instead of Dembele. I think he's gonna rotate, and I think Gavi's gonna play instead of De Jong. Um, and maybe Memphis instead of Ferran or instead of Oba. I think he's gonna make some changes because I don't think he's gonna want to keep the same lineup, especially because we're playing Thursday and then on Sunday and then the next weekend, next week, you know. But I hope he does,
Maybe.
just to keep him fresh, you know. But,
I think we can risk to have some rotation
yeah,
as long as it's not too stark. I think we can handle some rotation, and with the players that we've got at our disposal, the quality should stay the same.
Yeah.
I mean, Adama Traore is very fast as well, and
yeah.
while his shooting on goal is shit, he just needs to have those assists.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
well,
I agree.
so let's wrap this up,
Yeah,
and we will have a lot to talk. Hopefully, nothing but positive on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll meet up again on Thursday after the game, and maybe history. Yeah, we can talk about it then, and hopefully it's a good news, right? And react with passion and have some analysis and stuff for it. But yeah, let's call it a day. And thank you guys for listening. If you're on Spotify or podcasts, thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and like it on YouTube, just so you can get when we release episodes. We'll try to go live when we can for the episodes, but sometimes it's not doable because we have day jobs and all that stuff. But yeah, and if you're on Spotify, follow us there, listen to the content. We appreciate it. Share it with your friends, share it with your girlfriends. And thank you so much for watching.
Bye.